Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of science. After today, our first week is half over. How crazy is that? Today, we are looking at 3 more safety rules, and I hope that it went well for you yesterday. I know it was an interesting thing to look at, and this is a very interesting thing for me to not be talking about with you in person. So I regret that absolutely. This is, I'm sure you can tell, a very conversational topic. Okay, it's something we usually talk through, and you're able to bounce ideas off of one another. And I love that, honestly. I love being able to talk with you guys about the safety rules. I was amazed last year how many different examples of safety rules you guys came up with and why certain things were, um, safe ways to maneuver or move through the science lab, and why we should be careful for some of the rules, and why it was, extra important to pay attention to certain things. So I really love that your minds work that way and they are expanding and growing and beginning to think in a scientific way. I'm sure many of you have not been thinking a lot about science this summer, and that's okay because science is an interesting thing to think about. But honestly, a lot of everything you've done contains science in some way, okay? So the weather is science. How the temperature grows and changes has to do with science. Today it was raining all afternoon where I am at, and in Roseville. I live in Roseville, and that surprised me that it lasted all day long. But that's how the meteorology, the part of science that controls or works with the weather, that is a very unique and interesting field, and it works in mysterious ways. So I was surprised that it um, rained all day long, and I enjoyed that it rained all day long. I love the rain. So things like that. How you jump off of a diving board into a swimming pool is science. The way you jump determines the way you land. How you bend your knee to jump off your foot, to fly through the air, to land again, to play hopscotch, all has to do with some scientific principles. Same thing with running and playing in the yard and things like that. All of that comes back or can come back, excuse me, in some way to science. So I would like you to try to begin thinking in that way. And if you have questions for me about whether or not something is science, let's explore together. I would love to talk to you about that. Send me a message, and I would love to embark or go on that conversation route with you, and we can do a little research, okay? For today, we are going to once again continue looking at some safety rules. Okay, we have 3 more today. So there's 12 rules that we're looking at. We have 4 days of school this week, so that breaks down to 3 rules a day. So today's 3 rules. Number 1, waft carefully to test for odors. Now, waft is an interesting word and actually has a very unique motion that goes with it. I'm going to take my straw out of my drink here, and I'm going to show you what I mean by waft. So here's my drink cup. We're going to pretend this is a beaker or a scientific container, okay? Say I wanted to smell what was in here. I don't want to bring it right up to my nose and sniff it, because if I didn't know what was in here, it could be some chemical that could burn my nose, the inside of my nose. Okay, chemicals, depending on what they're made of, can be harmful. They can hurt you. So in science, we never directly go up to anything and just sniff it like you're smelling a flower, okay? A flower you would go up to and you would just smell it. You'd go, smell the pretty flower. You can't do that in science because you don't know what you're smelling and it could be harmful. So with whatever it happens to be in the science lab, even if you know technically what it is, you're going to pretend that it could hurt you and you're going to smell it or gather the scent off of it in a very special way. And you're going to do that through the process of wafting. W-A-F-T. Wafting. So how you do that is you take whatever container you have your item in that you want to smell. So I have iced tea in here right now. It's iced tea and lemonade. I can't smell it, but we're going to pretend. If I wanted to try to smell it, I would cup my hand like this. Okay, if I opened my fingers, all that air is going to get right through and nothing's going to be able to be gathered. So you're going to close your fingers. You're going to cup it kind of above, okay, not below, above the cup, and I'm going to bring my hand closer to my nose. Okay, I'm going to cup and collect that smell. So if I wanted to waft the smell of this iced tea, I would cup it like this and bring the smell close to my nose. Smelling, seeing if I could smell the iced tea. So the fact that it's cold iced tea compared with combined, with my cold, I can't smell anything. If it were coffee, I would be able to smell it and I would be happy because I love coffee, but I can't smell it. So we waft to protect our noses. Our second rule that we're going to talk about, clean up spills as soon as you can. Why would we need to do that, do you think? Think on that for a minute. We're going to clean up spills as soon as we can so that nobody gets hurt, okay? In our science lab, when we get there, most of our room is covered in carpet, but there is a section of the classroom that is covered in tile flooring. It's a flat, slippery tile. So if we spilled something on it, it would need to be cleaned up quickly so no one slipped and fell. Also, regardless of what we spill, it could be Legos, it could be soil, it could be water. Whatever we spill needs to be cleaned up so that the mess doesn't get bigger also, okay? And our last safety rule, rule number 3. Report accidents as soon as they happen. Is it okay to have an accident, to accidentally drop something? Yes. To break something? Yes. To make a mistake? Yes. It's fine to do all of those things. That's fine. Mistakes, breaks, spills, they happen. That's okay. You're not in trouble. It's not a big deal. But the sooner you tell me about them, the sooner we can get them cleaned up so that they don't get bigger and so that no one gets hurt. Okay? So again today, for your homework, for your daily assignment, you're going to draw me an example of a reason why each of those three why each of those 3 safety rules is important and why we need to practice it in our science classroom. Okay? If you have any questions, please let me know. And I hope you all have a great day. Bye.